There's orangutan in my bedroom and I don't know what to do. She plays with all my teddies and keeps borrowing my shoe. She destroys all of my houseplants and she keeps on shouting, ooh. She throws away my chocolate and she howls at my shampoo. There's orangutan in my bedroom and I don't want her to stay. So I told the naughty orangutan that she had to go away. Orangutan in my bedroom, just before you go, why were you in my bedroom? I really want to know. There's a human in my forest and I don't know what to do. He destroyed all of our trees for your food and your shampoo. There's a human in my forest and I don't know what to do. He took away my mother and I'm scared he'll take me too. There are humans in my forest and I don't know what to do. They're burning it for palm oil. So I thought I'd stay with you. Orangutan in my bedroom, now I do know what to do. I'll fight to save your home and I'll stop you feeling blue. I'll share your story far and wide so others can fight too. Orangutan in my bedroom, I swear it on the stars. The future's not yet written, but I'll make sure it is ours.
Hey, what's going on?
It's mine, Daddy. Noah keeps taking away from me.
Noah, give it back.
No.
Noah, give it back.
No.
I said give it back now. Noah!
Larry, what the hell are you...
Larry!
Larry, you can't just... Oh,
Larry! Oh, are you all right? How did you...
Larry! Righto, what's going on here?
Oh, sir, I'm arrested. Oh! Arrest! Oh!
The Slap, Part 2.
Because the deal that she is presenting is not a good deal. It would make the whole country worse off than it is just now. And for Scotland, it's the worst of all worlds. It wouldn't just take us out of the single market. It would put us at a competitive disadvantage with Northern Ireland, which is not something that I think anybody should be prepared to accept.
Now, on that competitive disadvantage with Northern Ireland, there's a sort of paradox, which is the DUP hates the backstop
Yes.
which would keep Northern Ireland in the single market for goods as well as in the customs union. Now, you would rather like that for Scotland. If that was offered to Scotland, would you support the Brexit that's being proposed by the Prime Minister?
Well, I've always said, I mean, remember, I'm the First Minister of a country that voted by 62% to remain, but I've always said that for me, the bottom line is single market and customs union membership. I've argued
if it was
that
for
the whole
Scotland
of the
alone,
UK...
just to be clear, you would back her deal?
If Scotland was given the option of single market customs union membership, then I would want to see us take that option. It's not something that has been offered so far, but we've argued that in December 2016.
Brexit plan through despite 7 ministers resigning and the calls for a vote of no confidence in her leadership.
More senior resignations could follow today, and Jeremy Corbyn has slammed the Brexit deal a shambolic mess. But what do the public, what do the normal people of the country think of the plan more than 2 years after the referendum? Well, Juliet Dunlop is in Blackpool, where more than 67% of people voted to leave. So, do people there feel this is a good deal?
Well, morning, Kate. Speaking to people here in Blackpool, many feel that they and this part of the country really have been ignored for far too long. Here in Blackpool, the jobless rate is above the national average. Tourism has been in decline for some years, and that partly explains why just so many people voted to leave the EU. But here in Sue's Cafe this morning, we've got 3 customers. You all have slightly different opinions about how things are going. Danny, I know you're a local businessman. You voted to leave the EU.
Yes.
How do you feel things are going at the moment, given the current political turmoil?
It's like you say, it's turmoil, it's a catastrophe. We need a general election, we need somebody that's not a Remainer to direct us, you know, to leave, and that's what we need to do, we need to leave.
Now, that would indicate that you think Theresa May is not the right person for the job. So
not at all.
who would you like to see take over?
Anybody, doesn't matter. Anybody.
Would they have to be a Brexiteer?
Well, yeah, because that's what we want. We want to leave, don't we? And at the moment, we've got a half stay, half go, backroom deals, and we're still going to be connected. We're still going to have the laws run by unelected bureaucrats, and we don't want that. We want to be free. We want to be a sovereign nation again, like we were originally. I've always lived here 40 years, you know, so I've always been. I've not known any different, and we need change. We really do need change.
So Danny wants change. Tim, you are that rare thing in Blackpool, aren't you? You voted to remain, and you feel really quite strongly that you're almost being taken out of the EU against your will. I mean, how worried are you at the minute about the way the negotiations are going about the future?
I'm very worried. We had a referendum where Leave campaigned on false promises and slogans painted on the side of buses that were shown to be untrue. Now we have a plan for Brexit that's kind of hopes and dreams to be further negotiated after we go over the cliff of Brexit.
So very worried about the future. And Paul, again, you differ here, that really you did know what you were voting for, you feel, and a lot of your decision making to vote Leave, you were saying it was about the NHS. How big a part did that play in why you voted to leave?
Because I've got a sick dad and nothing's been done, no backup or anything like that.
And
Not
you were
at all.
hoping that extra money would come to the NHS?
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's just, it needs a change.
OK. So the view here this morning of 3 customers in Blackpool's all slightly different, but as you can hopefully hear, there is quite a lot of concern just about how this process is going to unfold in the coming days and weeks.
Well, we've only got 133 days, have we? Thank you very much, Juliet.
Serving in high office is an honour and privilege. It is also a heavy responsibility. That is true at any time, but especially when the stakes are so high. And negotiating the UK's withdrawal from the EU after 40 years and building from the ground up a new and enduring relationship for the good of our children and grandchildren is a matter of the highest consequence. It touches almost every area of our national life, our whole economy and virtually every job, the livelihoods of our fellow citizens, our integrity as a United Kingdom of 4 nations, our safety and security, all of these are at stake. My approach throughout has been to put the national interest first, not a partisan interest, and certainly not my own political interest. I do not judge harshly those of my colleagues who seek to do the same, but who reach a different conclusion. They must do what they believe to be right, just as I do. I'm sorry that they've chosen to leave the government, and I thank them for their service. But I believe with every fibre of my being that the course I have set out is the right one for our country and all our people. From the very beginning, I have known what I wanted to deliver for the British people, to honour their vote in the referendum. Yes, difficult and sometimes uncomfortable decisions have had to be made. I understand fully that there are some who are unhappy with those compromises, but this deal delivers what people voted for, and it is in the national interest. And we can only secure it if we unite behind the agreement reached in Cabinet yesterday. If we do not move forward with that agreement, nobody can know for sure the consequences that will follow. It would be to take a path of deep and grave uncertainty when the British people just want us to get on with it. They are looking to the Conservative Party to deliver a Brexit that works for the whole UK, a strong economy that keeps jobs safe and wages rising, and first-class public services we can rely on, an NHS there for all of us, great schools for every child, and the homes that families need. That is what the people we serve expect, and that is what we owe it to them to deliver. I'm going to do my job of getting the best deal for Britain. I'm going to do my job of getting a deal that is in the national interest. When the vote comes before the House of Commons, MPs will be doing their job. They will need to look at that a deal. They will need to consider the vote of the British people to leave the European Union and our duty to deliver on that vote. And of course, they will be held to account by their constituents for the decisions that they take. And am I going to see this through? Yes.
Prime Minister, you're a cricket fan. From the outside, it looks like, at the moment, you're a long, long way off getting the number of runs that you need, but your batsmen are dropping like flies. Is there any number of wickets that will fall in your cabinet before you resign as captain?
Well, can I just say that you might recall from previous comments I've made about cricket that one of my cricket heroes was always Geoffrey Boycott. And what did you know about Geoffrey Boycott? Geoffrey Boycott stuck to it, and he got the runs in the end.
To have the final say on this deal.
Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Theresa May's deal that she's brought back from Brussels will not pass the House of Commons. The opposition, not just from my party, the Liberal Democrats and Labour and the SNP, but also from the Northern Irish and from her own backbenchers and the Conservative benches, means it can't pass.
We had a referendum 2.5 years ago, but what was promised to the people then is not what we're being offered now. We were promised an ideal policy for leaving the European Union, which I thought was impractical and unlikely to transpire. But what the government has actually negotiated is not that. It's a much poorer deal, and it's very much poorer than remaining in the European Union as a member state.
What do we want? Brexit! When do we want it now? Brexit now! I think it's better than staying in the EU, but I believe it's not what people wanted, and that's not what the 17.5 million people voted for.
Presiding officer, nothing is more emblematic of this Tory government's bankruptcy than universal credit. The rollout of the flawed universal credit is not only socially unjust, it is morally wrong. It is pushing people into poverty, into homelessness and into debt. And the Secretary of State for Work and Pensions has just resigned. And why? Because of David Cameron's arrogance in calling a referendum, and because of Theresa May's desperation in making promises that she knew she could never keep. So will the First Minister instruct her government this afternoon to urgently contact the DWP to press again for the rollout of universal credits to be halted?
First Minister.
If Richard Leonard wants me to do that, yes, I will do that. But I've also lost count of the number of times the Scottish Government have contacted the DWP asking for universal credit to be scrapped, for rollout to be halted. But can I make a better suggestion to Richard Leonard? Can I ask that he joins me, and we can do it together this afternoon. I'll sign a joint letter with him, that we write a letter to the Prime Minister, if she's still in office, or to her successor, or to the DWP, and we ask for power over universal credit to be taken out of the hands of the Tories and put into the hands of this Parliament. That's a better suggestion. So, I know it's First Minister's questions, but indulge me in asking Richard Leonard a question. Will you join me in making that call this afternoon?
Richard Leonard.
First Minister, I've got a better idea. Let's call for a general election.
With everything that's going on, and acknowledging that, will she now take her threat of a second independence referendum and all the additional disruption that would cause off the table? Will she, yes or no?
First Minister.
Talk about tired old rhetoric. There's only one person in this chamber indulging in that today. And what a nerve! what on earth for Jackson Carlaw to come to this chamber and talk about the importance of finding solutions for Northern Ireland? It was David Mundell and Ruth Davidson who wrote to the Prime Minister opposing a separate deal for Northern Ireland. All I'm asking for is if Northern Ireland is to get a separate deal for very good reasons, I support that, then Scotland should not be placed at a disadvantage as a result of that. And as for Jackson Carlaw's statement that the Scottish Government has been, what was it, destructive to the negotiations, Scotland hasn't been allowed into these negotiations. We haven't had the opportunity to be destructive to the negotiations. Now, I do support remaining in the European Union. I've been consistent about that. But from day one, I have put forward compromises. I have put forward the compromise of the UK staying in the single market and the customs union. I've lost count of the number of times I have asked the Prime Minister to consider that sensible option. But she's been too busy pandering to the likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg. Well, I think the chickens are going to come home to roost on that today, as Jacob Rees-Mogg and his colleagues probably bring her down. I'm pretty confident, because I'll put my case to the Scottish people, that I'll be First Minister after the next Scottish election. I'm not confident the Prime Minister will be in office by the end of today, such as the shambles she has created of these negotiations. And as I said earlier on, she should be ashamed of that. Jackson Carlaw should be ashamed of that, and every single Tory in the country should be ashamed of the mess they're creating for people the length and breadth of the UK.
Ruth Maguire to be followed by Pauline McNeill.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. What's been announced is an agreement on the UK's withdrawal from the EU. The long-term relationship is yet to be agreed. Indeed, the political declaration detailing this is only 7 pages long and provides no firm commitments to the nature of the future economic relationship. Does the Cabinet Secretary agree that the risk of a blind Brexit is now a very real one?
Cabinet Secretary.
It is true that the blindfold aspect of this, which has been much discussed in recent months, has not diminished. There is an expectation that we might see more of the political declaration next week. But of course, the political declaration is not legally binding. The exit agreement would be legally binding. The political declaration is aspirational. And then you have the immensely detailed negotiations that have to build upon that to get the final relationship. That will take a great deal of time. I think we will know more when we see the full political declaration, but I think there will be aspects of this if it were to go ahead in the way that Theresa May wants it to go ahead, and I think that's highly unlikely given where the House of Commons has shown itself to be today. But if they were to go ahead, then there would be whole areas of which we knew absolutely nothing, and we would have no purchase and no heft in negotiations.
Pauline.
The Cabinet's agreed today that we should move to the next stage in our negotiations with the EU. We want to see a special council meeting held in the end of November so that we can reach an agreement that then can be put to members of Parliament to decide whether it's in the best interests of Scotland and our United Kingdom. I believe that it's very, very important that we get a deal, the right deal, of course, a deal particularly in Scotland that recognises our wish to leave the common fisheries policy, but a deal, because a no-deal outcome to Brexit would be the worst possible outcome for Scotland in terms of our economy and the effect on the lives of everybody who lives there. So that's why I backed moving to the next stage of the process today, and I hope that we can now reach that deal that will deliver the best possible outcome for Scotland and the rest of the UK.
When it comes to Brexit, one of the things that we keep hearing from businesses is that they don't know what they should be doing to prepare. When it comes to people and the people front, there's a residency scheme coming into force fairly soon, and it's going to become mandatory in due course. Businesses can be thinking about that just now, looking at their people, which are their most important assets, and thinking about how they can protect European nationals who are already in the country. And that can be fairly easily done in terms of understanding what the legal requirements are going to be moving forward and acting now to implement those.
In a fast-moving world, keeping in touch is essential, but it shouldn't cost an arm and a leg, and it should be possible wherever you are. That's why Parliament is bringing telecoms rules up to date. MEPs want to put an end to expensive calls within the EU. From May 2019, phone calls should be capped at 19 cents and texts at just 6 cents.
In many countries of the European Union, this is going to no substantive decreasing of the cost, which is something that I'm sure the European consumers they will welcome.
It would be easier for customers to monitor their phone use and keep an eye on their bills. Remember, you're not married to your phone provider, so leaving it when you find a better deal should be easier. You could even receive compensation if they are too slow to let you go. Your personal information is precious. This is why Parliament wants to promote secure end-to-end encryption. Web-based services like Skype and WhatsApp will also be covered by the same rules. And because no one likes hanging around for slow internet connections, MEPs want super high-speed 5G to start hitting major European cities in 2020.
Yes, come along then, come along. Come along, young Wombles. Just in time for Womble TV. There we are. Come on. Now we'll just switch it on. Won't take long to warm up, I'm sure.
And when people ask me why I put myself through it, the long hours, the pressure, the criticism, the insults that inevitably go with this job, I tell them this. I do it to root out injustice and to give everyone in our country a voice. And that's why, when I reflect on my time in politics, the things that make me proud are not the positions I've held, the world leaders I've met, the great global gatherings I've attended, but knowing that I made a difference, that I helped those who couldn't be heard.
Oh, yeah. I always like that joke. Oh, what a load of rubbish.
Our goal is simple, a fairer country for all those born here, for those who have chosen to make this their home, and for the generations yet to come. That is why we believe in an independent Scotland. So know this, believe in this, work for this. Hope is possible. A better future is within our grasp. And together, we are going to make it happen.
Well, I grew up in a Scotland where the decisions about our future are taken by the people who care most about Scotland, the people who live here.
The ground beneath my feet is barely holding me. The smoke is settling and I can finally see. I look at the debris, the scattered parts of me. Your wake is leaving a World War III. Where do you get off being happy? Feeding on everything you're destroying. Caught in your hurricane. Feeding on everything
You're listening to Independent TV and Radio Scotland, Channel Radio Ice.
Playing now. Philly, not Atlanta.
Okay, you know me, young Philly like Kobe. 20 bitches ain't no rollie. She still snoring now, no sleep. Yeah, so deep. Golden in my system, no sleep. Back to 8, yeah, I'm more weak. All up in my zone, low key. Hold me, show me. Never get up on my bros, bitch. Pull up on you with 20 hitters. I ain't even started rolling. Fuck niggas say they pull up on me. Fuck yeah, we wait for that. Talking crazy, I'ma say my back. Really nigga, we ain't play with rats. Yeah. All up on my way, yeah, I'm trying to make it. We be living great, I'm not kinda basic. You be playing games, you will never make it. Yeah, shorty said I'm great, all you niggas hate me. All up on my way, yeah, I'm trying to make it. Yeah, we be living great, I'm not kinda basic. You be playing games, you will never make it. Shorty said I'm great, all you niggas hate me. Feeling nigga, yeah, by hater. Feeling nigga, yeah, loud sayer. I'ma die straight, yeah, I ate. I can even feel my face. Catch me in ATL, not Atlanta. She still with me and I bang her. Introduce her to the gang, yeah, no sand, yeah. Sometimes I feel just like a man, yeah. Really started getting fans now. Your girl nigga let me hang out. Shout out to my nigga fan up, yeah. Still bustin' with the gang now. Yeah, man down, bang bang now. Woo. Yeah. All up on my way, yeah, I'm trying to make it. We be living great, I'm not kinda basic. You be playing games, you will never make it. Yeah, shorty said I'm great, all you niggas hate me. All up on my way, yeah, I'm trying to make it. Yeah, we be living great, I'm not kinda basic. You be playing games, you will never make it. Shorty said I'm great, all you niggas hate me. All you niggas hate me.
Track playing now. Stefan Kartenberg, Neighborhood Girl.
Some guys think that a woman can't be your friend. And I was one of those guys, yeah, way back when. We thought that girls were just for loving and nothing else. Then I fell for a neighborhood girl. I never showered her with diamonds or pearls. And all she wanted from me was to be my friend. She said, be my friend, be my friend. I used to hang on street corners, just a messed up kid. all the violence, the mayhem, the things we did. And if it wasn't for this girl, I would be dead. But I got lucky with the neighborhood girl. I never showered her with diamonds or pearls. And all she wanted from me was to be my friend. She said, be my friend. Be my friend. She never asked me for nothing. She's the giving kind. And when it comes to good loving, she's the only one that enters my mind. She loves a good conversation, so we talk. And sometimes in the evening we take a walk. And sometimes in the bedroom, pillow talk. Yeah, I got lucky with the neighborhood girl. I finally give her diamonds, her pearls. And all I want her to be is to be my friend. We're lovers and friends. She's my best friend.
Now playing Apollo the Rapper, Familiar.
Talk to the truth. Think about you in the booth. This is for you. Talk to the truth. I think about you in the booth. This what I told her. Your smile's beyond comprehension. Time away from you got me wishing that our distance wasn't distant. I'm not them other guys, I'm different. And did I mention I can't seem to see a single blemish? You drop dead gorgeous, you got me falling tripping. I think you're the piece I'm missing. Reminiscing back when I was on a mission to find you. You my princess, these other girls like insects. You my baby, we can have babies, no incest. I love spending time with you, you so fine, and I'm glad you're mine. I'm glad you're mine. I love spending time with you, you so fine, and I'm glad you're mine, and I'm glad you're mine. Girl, I swear you sweet as pie. I guess we're Panthers, because it's only you and I. And girl, I'm in it to win, and it's do or die. Girl, like a goddess, I would never hurt you, I promise. To be honest, I don't wanna lose you. I already lost my mind. Eyes red, but I'm not crying. You an angel, girl, you flying. Like a ticket, girl, you fine. I admit it, I'm happy to call you mine. You on my mind all the time. And your smile is so bright, it leaves me blind. And on a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 9 times 9 times infinity. You're more precious than green and gold, that's Kennedy. Girl, we got chemistry, and don't listen to them haters, they're the enemy. Are you feeling me? I love spending time with you, you so fine, and I'm glad you're mine. I'm glad you're mine. I love spending time with you. You so fine. And I'm glad you're mine. And I'm glad you're mine. Feels like I'm trying to move too fast, but that's how I like it. I'm always wondering what's on your mind. Wish I was psychic. You look like an angel, holy and righteous. Love holding your hand, that feeling is priceless. Your smile is the nicest. Them other girls are the past. In the race of my heart, you're first and the last. I just have to ask, will you always be mine? Enemy time, smile, and let your teeth shine. Till the DJ put us on rewind. On rewind, till the DJ put us on rewind. It's like, girl, you made me nervous. Your smile leaves me wordless. It's like you do it on purpose. It's like you do it on purpose. Girl, you made me nervous. Your smile leaves me wordless. It's like you do it on purpose. It's like you do it on purpose.
Track playing now. Josh Woodward, Afterglow.
Rainbow singing at my door, and the Georgia pines and dandelions are bobbing in the careless summer breeze. Sunshine skipping on the sidewalk, sunshine not as bright as you. When you shattered free, you blinded me, and now I'm seeing stars around my head. And it's all I know. You're the afterglow that never fades. Tadpoles squiggle in the water, tadpole dancing toward the lights. From a pollywog into a frog in 20 seconds flat, well how about that? They fly skimming on the water, they fly only for the day. And if love is just a fleeting whim, then why is it you never dimmed away? And it's all I know. You're the afterglow that never fades. After all these years of living in your shadow, after all these years of bathing in your light, the only thing I know is you're the afterglow that never fades. My love, brighter than a diamond, my love shining like the sun. But I never try to close my eyes, I never want to hide you in the dark. Oh, and it's all I know. You're the afterglow that never fades. Oh, and it's all I know. You're the afterglow. So just take it slow until the sun falls low. Then light me up.
The coolest radio station in the world, Radio Ice, from Independent TV and Radio Scotland.
Now playing. Daniel Kaur, Vice.
Hello, old friend. It's time for goodbye. Time for goodbye. Goodbye. We've had our fun, but I'm headed home. I'm headed home. I've been talking to leave this town for 20 years now. But as I lay dying here on the ground, I'm not quite down and out, not down and out. Oh. Hello again. Well, I'm moving on. I'm moving follow if you want, but I've set my course. No, I'm not yours anymore. I've been talking to leaving this town for 20 years now. As I lay dying here on the ground, no, I'm not down and out. I'm not down and out. 'Cause I've got a home that I'm heading for. You can't stand in my way. I've got a home that's headed for me. Yeah. You can't stand this way. Oh no, you won't stand in its way. Hello, old friend. It's time for goodbye. 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 Oh. Don't you know that I can read in your eyes?
Playing now. Fresh Body Shop, behind the scenes.
Something's wrong with me. Trust me, I can take you behind the scenes and get on the trip. You'll see the world upside down. I'm giving you the chance to escape from reality. Cause I know
Now playing. Gary Strasbaugh, Weathers.
I was driving down the highway when a good friend said to me, love is like the weather, don't you see? So my life's been like hazy, foggy days and dreary nights. The forecast looked like no end was in sight. Then one day you came along, like blue skies through the mist. I felt sunshine for the first time when we kissed. And well, I held you in my arms that very same first day. I asked you not to leave. If you did, I'd have to say, without you there is no sunshine, without you there's only rain. I gladly give up everything to make you mine again. I wanna see those rainbows dancing in your eyes and hold you tight and share with you the weathers of my love. As spring turned into summer, I found you were my best friend. No rain could fall upon us once again. But like the winds, there's always change. The storms came on us fast. The leaves of love turned brown and then I died. Suddenly you left me all alone and so confused. I didn't know exactly what I had to do. Like snowflakes falling from the skies, the tears fell from my eyes. It brought to mind the words I said on our first night. Without you there is no sunshine, without you there's only rain. I gladly give up everything to make you mine again. I wanna see those rainbows dancing in your eyes and hold you tight and share with you the weathers of my love. One day I saw you cross the room with my old friend. I looked into your eyes and told you once again, without you there is no sunshine, without you there's only rain. I gladly give up everything to make you mine again. I wanna see those rainbows dancing in your eyes and hold you tight and share with you the weathers of my love. Whether rain or shine is given us by the powers up above, I'd share with you the weathers of my love.
Playing now. Jeff Hurley, We Got It Easy.
Don't need no alibi to call you.
You're listening to Independent TV and Radio Scotland. Channel Radio ICE.
Track playing now. Josh Woodward, Swan Song.
Let you go so long ago, so long. This is not where I belong. So I wait for the shallow itch to pass, and I wait, yeah, I wait. Okay, I don't need this anyway, I'm fine. It's yours and mine. Oh, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. Single thing I couldn't say, it didn't feel alright, but I don't wanna stay and I don't wanna fight all alone with my foolish appetite. So I wait for the shallow itch to pass, and I wait, yeah, I wait. Hey, I'm okay, I don't need this anyway, I'm fine. It's yours and mine. Whoa, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. I don't have the heart to give away to you again. I don't have the stomach for it, no one ever wins. We had our fun, but I have sung this song to you before. Here's my last refrain. Hey, I'm okay, I don't need this anyway, I'm fine. It's yours and mine. Oh, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. Hey, I'm okay, I do not need this anyway, I'm fine. It's yours and mine. Oh, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. Leave it all behind.
Next we have the Lemming Shepherds and Your Love.
Once I dreamt of chasing rainbows and lightning across the sky. Once I had a crazy thought, this thought was you and I. this fantasy of you inside my head. I always seem to be dreaming. Yeah, I always seem to be dreaming of painted skies and butterflies, the Milky Way above, and your love. Tried to fit in with the crowd, I did the best I could. Tried to shout above the din, but no one understood. In a bell jar miles below, I'm sinking out of touch. And even though there's room for two, the pressure gets too much. But I always seem to be dreaming. Yeah, I always seem to be dreaming. Starry nights and northern lights, the Milky Way above, and your love. How could I ever forget you? These thoughts I put myself through. And how could it ever be anyone else but me with you? And how could you ever forgive me for the double life you've been through? And how could it ever be anything else than me and you?
Next we have, from the Free Public Domain, Waltzing Marvin. Track playing now. Redneck Surfers, Surferin'.
You're listening to Independent TV and Radio Scotland, Channel Radio Ice.
Playing now. Teresa Jones and Mercer Lee, The Misses You.
Look at me, crying tears again, as you can see, living out this crazy fantasy. You will be mine every night, hoping for that small engagement ring, dreaming about the joy that it could bring. And I'd be fine. I want to live like everyone, share my fears and have some fun, waiting for the day I say I do. With a broken heart I'll fade away, never see that special day, never see my fantasies come true. The day I will become the Mrs. You. Protocol, heard the perfect stories, try them all. Opened up my life into a fall. That's reality. Now and then, look into the past, remembering when, hoping life would soon come to an end, releasing me. I want to live like everyone, share my fears and have some fun, waiting for the day I say I do. With a broken heart I'll fade away, the company is this. Don't get much
Next up is Lost European Robot Coupe.
In my robot coupe, it's slow and it's lean with the styrene sheen. This baby moves faster miles an hour. Destination's unclear, but it's miles from here. Step inside, throttle up the power. Ignites through the night, a shimmering light of radioactive, pure atomic power. No, you can't buy your ride, but there's ways to get inside. Remember, the password is desire. Anywhere you want to be, just plug in the XYZ. Sit back in the luxury of my robot coupe. Put on your pigskin boots and your harlequin sharkskin suit. I'll program a party route in my robot coupe. Plastic lines sweep and they flow. Faint of heart should never go. My robot coupe always knows. It knows the way to go. Anywhere you want to be, just plug in the XYZ. Sit back in the luxury of my robot coupe. Put on your pigskin boots and your harlequin sharkskin suit. I'll program a party. No need to watch the road. No luggage to unload. Just punch in the secret code in my robot coupe. Put on your pigskin boots and your harlequin sharkskin suit. I'll program a party where you rubber band.
I took the long road home.
Track playing now. Dano, The Long Road Home.
Past the trees and the jackrabbits in the weeds. I took the long road home. Just to see what I could see. Well, it was a big wide world out there.
filled with sunshine and a sky with air, and the world it set with a small still breath. Thanks for coming just to see me. I took the long road home by the toads in the grass while the lightning bugs last. I took the long road home just to see what I could see. Well, it was a big wide world out there, filled with sunshine and a sky with air, and the world it set with a small still breath. Thanks for coming just to see me.
Next up is Bill Shostak, One More Party.
Said I'm getting old and fat and slow, and I don't recover like I did before from nights of rabble, rousing and too much fun. Well, I looked around and we all agreed, and I had a drink and I ordered 3, and I staggered back to do it all again. Then we made an oath on a rum and coke with the best intention, I'm sure you know, that we would stop this living in excess. We're gonna have one more party, one more special occasion. Do it Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, holidays and weekends. We can have one more party. There's more hell we should be raising. One more party now, one more party tonight. Well, I got home about 3:15 that afternoon. She was waiting for me, all dressed to kill and headed out the door. She said, see you later, baby, I'm going out alone. You can watch your kids, you can answer the phone, but don't wait up, cause I'm staying out all night. Well, I got real nervous and I started to shake, and I got the point she was trying to make. I begged her not to go, but she just laughed. She said, don't forget the dishes and don't forget the floor, and don't forget to lock the door. There's somewhere I gotta be and I'm running late. I'm gonna have one more party, one more special occasion. Do it Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, holidays and weekends. We can have one more party. There's more help we should be raising. One more party now, one more party tonight. Well, I quit my drinking and staying out late, and I feel pretty good, but I don't feel great, and I know that this is as good as it will get. But the sun shines bright on my happy home, and me and the wife, we don't fight no more, and all this love's not hard for me to take. When I've been working hard all day, and I get home, she wants to play, but there's kids and dogs to feed and grass to mow. So we clean up the kitchen and we sit on the couch and we practice a little mouth to mouth, and then the next thing you know it's off to bed we go. We're gonna have one more party, one more special occasion. Do it Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, holidays and weekends. We can have one more party. There's more love we should be making. One more party now, one more party tonight. One more party now, one more father tonight.
The coolest radio station in the world, Radio Ice, from Independent TV and Radio Scotland.
Track playing now. Josh Woodward, Already There.
I spent so long just wondering. For years I was adrift, directionless and wayward, lost like a swallow on a cliff. But slowly I found purpose and my life became more clear. I found my destination, yeah, but now where do I go from here? 'Cause I'm already there, I'm already everywhere. I'm already there, I'm already everywhere. I've got a wife, 2 kids, and a picket fence. Everything was hazy, now it's making sense. Alright, I made it, so now what? I paid my dues in factories. I worked until I bled. The suffering made me stronger, so I pushed to get ahead. And now I'm perched above the factory floor, looking down at my friends below. In my comfy car I drive away, but there is nowhere left to go. 'Cause I'm already there, I'm already everywhere. I'm already there, I'm already everywhere. I've got a wife, 2 kids, and a picket fence. Everything was hazy, now it's making sense. Alright, I made it, so now what? Told me that when the race is done, the finish line's behind you, and you have lost or you have won. The crowd goes home and you're still standing on that empty track. The lights are out, the crowd is gone, but there's no going back. 'Cause you're already there, you're already everywhere. You're already there, you're already everywhere. Oh, I'm already there, I'm already everywhere. I'm already there, I'm already everywhere.
It's true.
You never saw my full potential.
Next we have Semi-Automatic, In Your Eyes.
I've never been the true. All you saw was a broken mirror.
I remember I was screaming when it got violent.
It's true.
It's true. In this life.
Listen, you never saw my full potential. All you saw were all the things for me that you could get. And even reminiscing over all the things we've been through. The thought lingers on how you said I was a regret.
Shit.
broken mirrors. Shattered my reflection. People in your life can be a blessing. Either that or end up as a lesson. Type these thoughts and send it as a message. It's all your fault, I told you not to text me. Blaming you was easier than me. Containing proof is needed when discreet. The fact of the matter is that factual matter are just actually atoms that contain emptiness. So to ask what's the matter when the practical matter matters nothing to you, why would I explain what it is? That's a mind fuck, a definite mind fuck. You ain't see it, you're a blind fuck, an infinite blind fuck, you're needed. I don't need your approval, we don't need to start over. I don't need your renewal, all I needed was you, and I was down, I was sitting cry. You don't know how many times that I wish I died. You don't know how many times that I counted on you, but I know how many times that you didn't try.
It's true.
It's true. In this life. Listen, you never saw my full potential. All you saw were all the things for me that you could get. And while I'm reminiscing over all the things we've been through, the thought lingers on how you said I wouldn't be shit. Thoughts linger on how you said I wouldn't be this. You were at peace with the fact I couldn't eat, but little did you know that but little in my flow would only help me grow, so your ignorance was bliss. I heard another hiss from the snake garden. I found out my best friends were my enemies. Thinking back on all the shit I would take part in, I'm just thankful that it didn't put an end to me. I remember I was screaming when it got violent. I remember putting cheese in the top ramen. I remember how uncomfortable you made me feel. I couldn't hear myself think when it got silent. Back then, what about now, huh? While I'm up, you wishing you stayed down, huh? Envious of my life and my health and the ice and the wealth. Now you wanna come around, huh? You don't know how many times I would sit and cry. You don't know how many times that I wish I died. You don't know how many times that I counted on you, but I know how many times that you didn't try.
It's true.
It's true.
In this life.
In this life.
I've never been the one. In your eyes.
In your eyes.
I've never been the truth. All you saw was a broken mirror.
I remember I was screaming when it got violent.
It's true.
It's true.
In this life.
In this life.
I've never been the one. In your eyes.
In your eyes.
I've never been the truth. All you saw was a broken mirror.
Next we have Redneck Surfers, That's Why.
Maybe I can choose not to forget. Maybe I can take the pain away. All is forgiven. Maybe I can prove my innocence. Maybe I can carry away. It can. All is forgotten now.
Next up is Jeff Hurley, calling out to you.
Cloudy sky on a cold and windy night, I saw your photograph as it flickered in the light. I had to stop and try to understand. It seems
You're listening to Independent TV and Radio Scotland, Channel Radio Ice.
Playing now, Josh Woodward, Golden Sunrise.
Sheltered from the sunlight in the shade beneath the tree. We hide behind the shadows like an orphaned refugee. The apple tree of knowledge shed its fruit along the way. The injury is fading, but the hunger is here to stay until the day when there's no memory of what we used to be. Golden sunrise, burn your eyes, fill your dark skies, and made you blind. The heads all turn to darkness when the sun engulfs the sky. The brightness overwhelming to the unadjusted eye. We're taught to follow blindly like there's nothing here to see. A slave to some philosophy will somehow make you free, and you will be so gladly handcuffed and lightened from above. Golden sunrise, burn your eyes, fill your dark skies, made you blind. With ignorance a virtue, the question is a sin. Is there no remedy for the state that we are in? With knowledge on a leash, it's like a terminal disease, and we won't be awake to see that we are fading out.
Now playing. Unreal VM, Talk to Me.